Good evening, guys. What is going on this evening? Hopefully you all are doing well this fine Thursday evening, wherever you might be. As you can see, I'm not in my normal studio, my normal location. I happen to be in Chicago. I had to drive to Chicago today because they're expecting some snow overnight tonight. In fact, it's snowing out right now. I'm in a place called Gurnee, Illinois. I'm sure a lot of you know where that is, but it's basically halfway between Milwaukee and Chicago, and along Highway 41, right by Six Flags. So that's where I am this evening. Hopefully they don't get much snow and I don't have to be here till Sunday, but we'll see. So maybe the next couple days when you see a video that I'll be putting out there, I will be here and I won't be in my normal studio. But anytime I go on the road, if I can, I bring cards with me. It just helps me pass time in a hotel. I don't like sitting watching TV and not doing anything. So I bring a couple boxes with me of cards and cards that I'll be selling for auctions for various people, and organize them, get them set up, and go through them and that type of thing. So that's what I have been doing, and what I'll be doing for these videos is covering some of the better cards in this collection. Here is the collection I'm working on now, right here. It's one that I did a video on a few nights ago, and in the process right now of kind of organizing them by number and by condition, and putting prices to them and that type of thing. So that's what we are working on right now. Let me get my camera reset up here. So tonight what we're going to do is go through these these 72 cards, and I'll just kind of go through the condition of each card and talk a little bit about them, and that's what we'll do. I also wanted to give a shout out. I wanted to thank everybody. If you watched my last video, I put out a request. At the time, I was just short of 100 subscribers to the channel. So I put in a little request for you guys. If you guys watch and enjoy the videos, to just go ahead and subscribe to the channel to help me get me over 100. And you guys really came through for me huge yesterday. I picked up, I think, it was probably my best subscriber day I've ever had. I think I had like 10 subscribers just yesterday alone, which pushed me up to 109 subscribers. I picked up 3 more today. I think at the time I had 106 is where I ended up yesterday at, and I picked up 3 more today, so at 109 now. So I definitely appreciate you guys doing that for me. Really big, really helped me out a lot, and I appreciate it. Now we're charging towards 1,000, so a long way to go, but it's my goal to get to 1,000 by the end of the year, and I'm sure I'm pretty confident if we keep up the content and you guys like what we're doing, that'll happen. I also the hotel room I have that I'm in. I stay in a lot of hotel rooms, and the hotel I'm in doesn't happen to have. It's not a. I mean, it's a fairly decent hotel. It's a nice hotel chain, but they don't have a refrigerator, so my beer is getting cold, is getting warm. So, and I don't want to put it out in the car because it'll freeze in overnight. So anyway, so don't mind me if I have a little sip of beer here and there during the video. Um, Not something you guys are used to seeing me do, but yeah, when I'm on the road, I have a tendency to have a beer or two. Anyways, so that is that. I wanted to give a shout out, as long as we were talking about subscribers, I wanted to give a shout out to new subscribers to the channel that have come on in the last week or two. So I wanted to recognize them and thank them for going ahead and hitting that subscribe button and becoming subscribers to the channel. First up is Sports Card Goat 2.0. Checked out his channel. It's kind of cool. So if you get a chance to look at his channel, got some neat little videos, sports-related videos on there. Kind of cool stuff. James Sasser. We got William Baxter. We got Cleveland Sports Cards. And we got Rippin' Dickey. Michael Rowe. Shannon Griswold. Card Collector 869. He's been really good about giving me lots of really good feedback. So I appreciate that, Card Collector 869. Greg Smith, Greg is one of the vintage sports card guys on Facebook. He is a person who's bought some cards for me, been really helpful to me on that channel and helping me with my auctions and always is quick to point out pointers for me and that type of thing. So I appreciate everything that Greg has done and giving me some good feedback. I think it's SDSP Hobby, and Arnold Banner is the last one. So that's the list for tonight. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on and joining the channel. And same as I consider this channel to be basically your channel. I'm always willing to listen to any type of hints or pointers or feedback that you guys have about the channel and anything we can do to make it better. If you guys want to see certain type of video that I don't do, as you guys know, we primarily focus on vintage, but we also do some new cards. I haven't broken open a new blaster box or a new box or open up new packs in a while, so hopefully I get a chance to do that here in the next few weeks. And I think Stadium Club comes out next Wednesday, and I don't know that I'll buy a hobby box of Stadium Club, but I definitely will buy a couple blaster boxes. It's not one of my favorite sets out there. I used to collect it a lot, but not one of my favorite sets. We got Series 1 coming around the corner on February 15th. So really looking forward to Series 1. I don't know if you guys have seen the previews, the format previews for those, but they look like really cool cards, really nice cards. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully it is better than last year. I don't know what kind of rookies they're going to have there. I imagine the big one will be like Ellie De La Cruz. I would expect that one to be the premier rookie in that set, but we'll just have to see when that comes out on the 15th, and we'll definitely be buying a hobby box or two of that, and definitely some blaster boxes. So once February 15th, you'll see a lot of new products start to come out, getting ready for the upcoming season. Normally Series 1 coincides with the opening of spring training, so looking forward to that. It's right around the corner, guys. We basically just got a month left before Series 1 and before we are talking about spring training and getting back into the swing of things. But in the meantime, we'll be dealing with some vintage. We're still opening the NBA hoop stuff. So looking for Wemby. So all that is going on in the meantime. So anyways, thanks for joining me tonight. And let's get into these 1972 Topps cards and go through and we'll talk about each one, talk about condition, and just to give you guys a little sneak peek of what you guys can expect. I would expect these ones actually not to come up for auction for maybe, I would say, 3 weeks to a month yet. I'm just working on the spreadsheet for these ones. And what I do when I'm selling cards for other people is I create a spreadsheet that lists, all the cards that's in the collection, basically commons. I break it down by number, break it down by condition, and then put a price per card to those, and then pull out the singles. Basically just the Hall of Famers or the very good players. Sometimes they're just not Hall of Famers, but they're very good players, and sell those cards separately and list those ones separately. So that's what these cards are, the cards that I'll be listing separately in the auction, and I sell those separately when I do the vintage cards stuff. So anyways, first up here we got Billy Martin. I've got this one at a 3. And the lighting is really poor in this hotel, so I apologize to you for that. You can see here the corners are fairly dinged up. I don't really see any. There is a crease down here on the bottom left. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yeah, you can see it a little bit right there. So that's why I've got this card at a 3. It's off center too, and that's pretty common with these 1972 set, is that you'll see a lot of these that'll be off center. This one's probably 90-10 left or right. The back is normally going to be in good condition. So this is when Billy Martin was managing the Tigers. Next up, we've got Carlton Fisk, rookie card. Right there's Carlton. And Cecil Cooper at the same time. He was not a Hall of Famer, but a very good player he was at the Red Sox at this time, but his main claim to fame was when he was with the Brewers. He was a really good player for the Brewers, power hitter, good player. So this one is, I've got this one at a 3 as well. It is primarily off center. You can see left to right, 95. I wouldn't even give this 5, maybe 97.3. The corners are fairly dinged up, so that's why I've got this one at a 3. Even though there isn't any significant creasing on the card, it just the corners are in pretty rough shape. So that is why they got that one at a 3. Next up, we got home run leaders, and this has got Reggie Jackson, the Hall of Famer, and Norm Cash, Hall of Very Good player. So, not a Hall of Famer, but it was a pretty popular player back in for the Detroit Tigers back in the late '60s and through the early '70s. But this one is pretty well centered. It was just basically the corner, so that's why I had this one at a 4, and there is no creases on it. So as you guys know, like I always talk about when I talk about vintage, is that if there's no creases on the card, to me the starting point for a card with no creases is 4, and then it goes up. Then you're talking about corners and centering and that type of thing. So the base for any card that doesn't have creases is basically 4. If it does have creases, minor creases, then a 3, moderate creases 2, and then if it's a lot of creases in rough shape, then it goes down to a 1. But anyways, Bob Gibson here. I've got this one at a 5, excellent 5. The corners they got one dinged up corner there. The rest of the corners are in pretty decent shape. The centering is fairly decent. It has a little printing flaw right there. So that's why I've got this one at a 5. Next up is Tim McCarver. Got this one a very good to excellent 4. Centering is a little bit off, not a little bit off, it's quite a bit off, 90-10. And the edging is a little bit rough, but the back is in decent shape, so that is the Tim McCarver card. Next up, we've got 3 Norm Cashes. Again, we just talked about him. He's not a Hall of Famer, but a Hall of Very Good player. This one I've got it at a 3. You can see the significant crease right there in the upper left. Also has, I just noticed, there's some writing. It says his name across the front of it. Definitely not his autograph. Someone wrote his name on there. So this is probably actually not a 3. It's probably actually, oh, I do have this at a 2. So that is that card. Back is in decent shape, but just the writing and the crease right there. That's why that one's at a 2. These other 2 I've got at a 4. There's no creases on these cards. The top of this one is in pretty rough shape, so is the top of that one. Centering is okay on this one, not so great on this one. But there's no creases on it. So that's why I've got both of these at a 4. I just noticed this one might have a crease on it, and yeah, it does have a slight crease up here. You can kind of see it when I tilt it to the light. Anyways, it's tough to see these things when I'm dealing with a 40-watt bulb and not my regular 3 studio lights. So it's tough to see the condition of these cards. But I normally go through and double check them before I put them up for auction, just to verify the grade that I have them at. When I go through and do pricing. So right before I do them for auction, I regrade them. And so that one probably dropped down at that point. Anyways, Tug McGraw, Tim McGraw's dad. I've got this one. This one's really in decent shape, other than being off center, 95.5. Corners are in pretty good shape. The back is in good condition, but that's just the centering issue with this one. So that's why I have this one at a 4. Other than that, the corners are in pretty decent shape and whatnot. Next up, we got Vita Blue. We got 2 Vita Blues. Both. This one I've got at very good to excellent 4. I'll pull it out of the sleeve here. There's no creases on it, but it does look like it had some sort of a paper clip or something up here in the upper middle. The corner down here in the bottom right's pretty dinged up. Actually, all the corners are fairly dinged up, but that's why I've got this one at a 4. This next one I've got at a 3. You can see the large crease right here across the bottom left. So that's why this one's at a 3 on the Vita Blue. Next up is Orlando Cepeda. I've got this one at a very good 3. In fact, both of them, I've got 2 different ones here. Both of them are at 3. This one is obviously printing issue. You even got part of the next card here on the bottom. Other than that, there's no creases on the card. This one's got a crease on it, so that's why this one's a 3. This one's just a 3 because of the centering issue that is in existence on this card. So that's why they're both listed at 3. Lou Brock. Nice card on Lou Brock. Got this one at excellent 5 for the Brock. Corners are in good shape. Sorry guys, we're back. I had a little issue with the camera. I had it set at 1, so I wanted to drop it back to keep it in a little bit better focus. So anyways, the Lou Brock here. I've got this one in very good, or in excellent shape at a 5. It's a really nice card, so that's why I've got it at a 5. Pretty decent condition on the Lou Brock card. Next up is Raleigh Fingers, and Raleigh, just basically a centering issue. I've got this one a very good to excellent 4, but you can see the centering issue on the top. You can see part of the next card here on the bottom, so just a miscut issue. So that's why this one's at a 4. Corners are in decent shape. There's no creases on it or anything, so not a bad card. Just the centering issue. The Jim Palmer card, I've got this one at excellent to near mint 6. Actually, not too bad of a card at all. Really nice card on the Jim Palmer. Corners are in really nice shape. The centering is actually pretty good. There isn't any major issues on this card at all. Really good color, so that's why I've got this one at a 6. Really nice card here. Next up is the Willie McCovey. I've got this one at a 6 as well. Corners are in really good shape on the Willie McCovey card. The centering is really good, and the back is in really nice shape. Actually, really nice centering on this card. So that's why I've got this one at a 6 on the Willie McCovey. Next up, we got Gaylord Perry. Got very good to excellent 4. Centering is an issue. The corners are pretty slammed. So that's why I've got this one at a 4. Roberto Clemente in action card. Off center, top to bottom. Corners are pretty dinged up. I've got this one at a 4 because there's no creases on it. But other than that, not a bad card on the Roberto Clemente. Jim Catfish Hunter. Got him at an excellent 5. Scroll down a little bit here on my computer. Got him at an excellent 5. Centering isn't bad top to bottom. Left to right, 70-30. No, probably 80-20. The back is in decent shape. So the card is in really nice shape. So that's why I've got this one at a 5. Sparky Anderson. George Sparky Anderson. Got this one very good to excellent 4, just because the corners are pretty dinged up. Centering isn't bad, but the corners are pretty slammed. So that's why I've got that one very good to excellent 4. Tony O, very good to excellent as well on the 4. The top is pretty messed up. They got a pretty bad corner down here in the bottom right, but there's no creases on the card. So it's probably a $2 or $3 card on that one. Next up is Johnny Bench. I've got this one at excellent 5. Corners are in really nice shape. Centering is a little bit off left or right, probably 80-20, 90-10 maybe. 85-15, let's call it. Just go down the middle. So that's why I've got this one at a 4, or at a 5. Reggie Jackson in action card. Pretty nice centering on this card other than top to bottom. Corners are in pretty decent shape, so I've got this one at excellent 5 as well. The Billy Williams card, very good to excellent 4. This whole side, you can see this whole side is fairly frayed. So that's why I've got this one at excellent 4. Thurman Munson in action card, very good to excellent 4, just because the corners, there isn't any creases on the card, but the corners are pretty slammed. So that's why I've got that one at a 4. Tom Seaver got very good to excellent 4 as well. Obviously the centering is awful. There's no edge on this side. So that's why this one's at a 4. Corners are in decent shape, no creases, but yeah, pretty poor on the centering. Tom Seaver in action card, a 4 as well. The corners are in fairly decent shape, but there is, I wouldn't even call it a crease, it's more of a slight wrinkle. It's not really even a crease, but a slight wrinkle across the middle. So even though the centering is pretty good on this card, that's why I've got it at a 4. You can see some fraying on the edge up there as well. Tony La Russa, I've got this one at excellent 5. The corners are in really nice shape. It is off center a little bit, probably 80-20, left or right. So that's why I've got this one at a 5, even though the corners are in really nice shape. Ted Williams, very good to excellent 4 on the Ted Williams card. This upper corner's pretty dinged up. The bottom left is a little bit dinged up. The centering, you can see how it's kind of wider on top and narrower on the bottom on both edges. So it's definitely a miscut card. So that's why I've got this one, even though there's no creases on it. That's why I've got that one at a 4. Next up, we got Burt Blyleven. I didn't really do that much of an examination here on the Burt. I think I've got it at a 5. Yeah, it's definitely not a 5. There's some creasing going on up here. Let's see if I can get in. I think you can kind of see it. Some creasing going on up here in the upper middle, so it's going to have to lower down to a 3. I didn't see it through the plastic there, through the penny sleeve. But the centering, 90-10. So I'll probably reduce that one down to a 3. Pete Rose in action. Very good to excellent 4, just because the corners are pretty dinged up. This edge is pretty frayed. That's why I've got this one at a 4. Nolan Ryan, famous number 595 Nolan Ryan card. I've got this one at a 4 as well. There doesn't seem to be any creases. I'm going to pull this one out of the sleeve as well. Got to be a little more careful than this one. No creases on the card at all, but the corners are this upper left and this bottom right. There's some slight rounding here. So corners are a mess. So that's why I've got this one at a 4. Very good to excellent 4 on the Nolan Ryan. Next up is Al Kaline. Got this one at excellent 5. No creases on the card, just a centering issue top to bottom. Corners are actually in pretty decent shape, but just a major centering issue. Left to right actually isn't bad, but top to bottom is pretty terrible. So that's why I've got this one at a 5. Bobby Bonds in action card. And I've got this one at a 5 as well. Corners are in decent shape. Centering is actually pretty decent. The back is in good condition. It is a high number card, so anything above, I think it's 656 in the 72s are considered high number. So this one's number 712. So it is a high number card, and it's going to yield a little bit better price because it's short printed. Same as the Hoyt Wilhelm. The Hoyt Wilhelm card, this one's really nice. I got this one at excellent to near mint 6. So not a bad card at all on the Hoyt Wilhelm. So this is a high number card, number 777. It is one of the last cards in the set, and normally gets a really good price on the Hoyt Wilhelm. I think I got Beckett's here. What do they have Hoyt Wilhelm at? They've got it at $30 for the Hoyt Wilhelm. But normally, if I can get 15 out of this card, would be a win. So that is that. That's the last card in the set. So that's what I got for you tonight on the 72s. If you got any questions on the condition or questions about what we talked about on these cards, definitely let me know. Give me some feedback down below. It does get you entered into the giveaway for this month. Any sort of feedback or good feedback will get you into the contest for the mystery pack at the end of the month. So looking forward to that giveaway at the end of the month if you haven't done so already. So be looking out for the day 10 of the NBA Hoops. I'm getting tired of opening up NBA Hoops, but we got that coming up next. A short video on that. And that is all I got for you guys tonight. Thanks again tonight. Thanks for, again, helping me out, getting me over the 100 subscribers. I definitely appreciate that, and I definitely appreciate everything you guys do and staying loyal to the channel. Thanks, guys. Have a good night, and we will talk to you tomorrow.